Hi guys, and welcome to my review of the TRIPOWIN Olina SE. TRIPOWIN X HBB Olina SE. This is the final version, as far as I know of the Olina. In terms of there will be no more of this IEM in terms of its shape and driver used and so on and so forth. So it's kind of like the final version. And you might be asking, but why are you saying that final version? What do you mean? Well, what I'm trying to say is that it all began with the Melee, which was the first one to use this this shell, let's put it that way. Okay, and the Melee used an initial version of the driver that then was used in the Olina, which these drivers are all part of the family of the drivers used in the 10th stream oxygen. And then, well, as I was saying, these drivers, the Melee, the Olina, and the Olina SE, they all use this driver family, which is similar or equal to the 10th stream oxygen. I myself have opened the oxygen. I've opened one Melee. I know what is the driver that is used here because I've seen some pictures of it as well. And although they look very similar, what I was able to ascertain from certain sources was the driver, yes, is similar. They share that same family, let's say DNA, but there are small little differences between them. And I'm guessing those differences. I'm guessing the shell, the nozzle diameter, the nozzle length, all of that ultimately dictate the difference that we then find in terms of the sound. Are the differences huge? No, they are not huge. The differences are very small, slight nuances. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, the premise of the Olina was to give the masses, let's say, a sound which was very much reminiscent of the sound of the 10th stream oxygen, from which it got its inspiration at a much lower price than the oxygen. Now, during this period of the Black Friday, I've seen it at $229, for example. But the usual price is $279, while the Olina, the usual price, well, in this case, the Olina SE right now, the usual price is $99, and I've seen it at $79. That was the case now during the 11/11 sales, and that's why I actually ended up buying the Olina SE. I bought the Olina SE mainly because I got a lot of requests from you guys telling me that you would like my opinion of it compared to the Olina. What was the deal? What wasn't the deal? Anyway, this is the box before we carry on. Kind of what to be expected, let's put it that way. The IEMs came over there, brings decent enough tips. The cable is a cable which is basically the same version that was used in the original Olina and as well in the Melee, so it's not a bad cable, it's fine. It's got a decent, clean presentation. It's what to look. With HBB signature, this is, I guess, what you would expect. I'm sure he doesn't want his name associated with something which doesn't have the quality that you would expect. It's as simple as that. Anyway, that's the box. It's over and done with. What do I have in front of me here? Well, I've got the original Olina. I've got the Olina SE, which I'll show you in a second. I've got the oxygen because I thought it would make sense, and I've got the Kato. I could have put a whole bunch of other single DD IEMs that are, I've used before for numerous comparisons, but I'm just going to keep it to this because it's going to be very simple. I mean, this review is really not going to take too much of my time. First, to show the shell, and let me just get here the original. So, okay, basically the shell is the same. There is, let me see if I can show you this. There is a very minor difference in the thickness, very minor difference in the thickness, because this one because of the way the faceplate is and different to that. If I actually align them, you can see there's it's a minute difference. I would say that actually the biggest difference between these two is more a difference of, actually, sorry guys, I was picking up the left side and I had the right side on one. Well, yeah, they had both the left sides, yeah. Oh my god, this is what happens when you start getting old. Anyway, there we go. Okay, so let's see if I can show you this. So if you notice, and it's not there is a very minute difference between the two of them. The angle is basically the same. It seems that it's a little bit more fuller here, but I can't really, it's very, very difficult to tell the difference in the actual shell. But it could be actually down to just the color, actually, that gives you that perception that it's different. Here again, like I say, you get the feeling that there's a slight difference, but you can't really say. Anyway, at the end of the day, this is very simple. They are basically the same shell, different faceplate. Okay, it's got this turtle on the SE, which looks actually quite cool. The finish is on both is impeccable. Fit is impeccable. I mean, fit has never been an issue with this IEM. It's always had a very nice fit. This shell is a shell that actually, the first time that it was seen in an IEM called a Pula, which was actually one of the very first reviews that I ever did. And the difference between that one and this one is the way that the shell actually opens, but the basic shell is the same again. And that IEM obviously used a much more basic driver inside, and obviously the performance is not the same, of course. But anyway, fit, isolation, all of that is perfect. For the sake of this comparison, as you can already see, I've used always the KBE or 07 tips, because actually in this particular case it's the tip that fits me the best and that to my ears got me the best performance out of any of them. And what can I say about the performance of the SE? Very simple. The original Olina suffered from a little bit of not a harsh, not aggressive, but over energetic with certain music genres, with certain songs, mainly with females, over energetic area of between 4 to 6k, which could, coupled to the fact that the bass had been reduced compared to the melee, which could make it sound just a little bit too much, So a lot of people like myself, what we did was we just put 2 of the dampers which it actually brings with it. We just smacked 2 dampers on there, and that immediately brought it down and actually made it even more linear in that whole area. After the initial pin again up to about 8k, it became much more linear. It became more I'm not going to say harmonish, but fine, let's say it more harmonish kind of style. The harmon curve has a peak and then slowly comes down. This kind of plateaued itself, okay, as opposed to the original curve, which had a slight wavy format with certain peaks at specific areas. But anyway, by doing that double damper, what it basically did was it reduced that. It boosted the bass just a little bit by maybe 2 dBs. Well, at least in this particular IM that I have here, it did. I have another set which was more bass light than this one. And that one, when I modified it, actually ended up boosting it more than this one, and I did the same mod, so go figure. And it made for very, very capable IEM. And my rec, and this has been my rec for a single DD, or one of my recs on, let me correct that, one of my recs for a single DD at around $100. I don't need to talk much about the performance. It's organic, in terms of its timbre and tonality, it's very correct. It's got a nice, clean, dynamic bass. There's no real bleed into the mids. Everything just sounds very coherent, very nicely matched. It's got good extension, great soundstage, really, really good soundstage. In terms of that aspect of the technicalities, it's excellent. And one of the reasons why I think a lot of people, when they did the mod, kind of really said, oh wow, this thing really can play with the big boys. Excuse me. Initially, the first impressions were no, it wasn't as good as the oxygen, and I was one of the people that confirmed that no, it's not as good as the oxygen. But once modified, yes, it did approximate itself more to the oxygen. Does it touch the oxygen's performance? No. And this has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a big fanboy of the oxygen. No, honestly, it really doesn't. There's just something that you listen to this modified and you listen to the oxygen, and the oxygen just sounds different. It's got a nicer timbre. Could it be my one? Maybe it could be my one. It could. I've actually got two sets. They both sound basically the same. The other set that I have, which is over here, so that you guys don't think I may be lying, the other set does have slightly a little bit more bass. It doesn't approximate the bass. I've got the 120/21 over there, so I'm not gonna really show her. It doesn't approximate, be it this set or that one, doesn't approximate the ultimate sub bass of the HANA, but also the HANA doesn't have the same extension past 8-9K that these two have. But the truth is, in terms of its mid presentation, the oxygen is absolutely amazing. The one IM that I've heard since that actually has come the closest to the performance of the oxygen, and I'll be reviewing it soon, is a Sonic Memories, the SM2. Okay, that IM is something. Its only problem is a fit, but that IM is honestly something. I'm not sure if the driver used is the same in the same family, but wow, seriously really good. The other IM that I also heard that really also impressed me, although afterwards with listening to it a little bit more, I came to the conclusion that no, it was good, but wasn't as, obviously not as good as oxygen, was a Sequel Airship. That's another really good IM. So all of this talk, all of this blah 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 for what? To say what? To say that if I take a stock Olina and I compare it to the stock SE, the SE is superior. Why is it superior? Because it's been tamed down. That area where this one was aggressive, it's been tamed down. It maintains basically the same bass that the original one had. Everything is very similar, just that energy that was there, 4, 5, 6, 7K, has been tamed down and makes for a much more pleasurable listen. So in essence, and to make things very simple and to not overcomplicate, this original is that modified. So if you have an Olina and you've modified it with a double damper, honestly, you know what? Save your money. No need to go and buy the SE. It's pointless. If you've never bought an Olina, obviously now, unless you can find maybe someone that still has original Olina and you can really cut a good deal on it because it's $79, really, I mean, you can't go wrong, then buy the Olina and you will not regret buying the Olina. The Olina SE, is a fantastic IM. It is really good. It's not an upgrade over that. No, it isn't, in my opinion. It isn't. Because it isn't. The SE is an Olina with double dampers. Period. It's as simple as that. Let's not overcomplicate. So by saying that, what do I mean? Well, what it basically applies to the original Olina, the OG Olina, versus the oxygen applies. This only is capable of giving the oxygen, some fight in terms of the technicalities, soundstage and imaging. That's it. The rest, it's no competition. No competition. I please forgive me those that are big fans of the Olina. I like the Olina. I'm not saying this because I don't know. Please forgive me those people. Okay, but this is no match for the oxygen as compared to the Kato. What is my opinion? Well, let me put it this way. This stock again only beat the Kato in terms of its technicalities. Okay, that was it. Modified, it improved upon those technicalities and still carried on beating the Kato. In the rest, the Kato is for me a better IM than the Olina. Yes, this is $170. That's $100. Yes, that's a big price difference. Okay. The same thing goes here for the Olina SE. The Olina SE, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, does not beat the Kato. It beats the Kato as it beats the thing that the Olina SE has, or the Olina OG have, is the fact that they've got an amazing price. Yes, the performance is surreal. It is really good. Okay, and it can give these more expensive single DDs a good run for the money and beat many of them, because there are plenty of single DDs out there at that price range which are an absolute disgrace. I mean, one of them that comes to mind is the QDC. I mean, beautiful shell, looks amazing, but no, in terms of sound, no way. In terms of another one, for example, the Focus Vocal as well, no, the Olina walks all over it. So it's a fantastic IM. Plays beautifully. It goes up against these bigger boys, let's say, very well, but its biggest calling card is its price, and it's $79 as you can get it now for the Black Friday sales. It's really a no-brainer. If you want a fantastic single DD, okay, really good, SE, done, finished. No more. Don't complicate things. Okay. Is it my favorite one overall? No, it isn't my favorite one overall at that price bracket, or up to that price bracket. I find, for example, the likes of an Aria more satisfying to me and to my music liking and to my music preferences. Excuse me, but that's me, myself. I personally think the Aria is just more satisfying for myself. But apart from the Aria, and maybe the T2 DLC is also very good. Apart from those two, nothing else really can surpass the performance that the Olina OG or the Olina SE were capable of, or are capable of. So that's it. Do I wreck it? Yes, of course I do wreck it. Well, I mean, you can only get it anyway now. You can't get the OG anymore unless, like I said, there's somebody that still has some store, well, not some store, some LINSOUL, or I think it's what's the store on AliExpress, Doodle Hi-Fi, I believe. It's only those two that have it. So unless you find it there and you find it at a really good price, then just go for the SE. All right. Anyway, guys, if you guys want me to show you the graphs, please let me know. I'll do it. But I don't think in this case it's really necessary. I was trying to keep this as simple as possible, and still, I still did 17 minutes of rambling. Anyway, guys, you take care. Any questions, please feel free to ask. And as always, like and subscribe. Shoot whatever questions, whatever things you would like to see. If you have any suggestions for the channel, please, I'm open to everything. I'm here to basically give you guys the best possible service. That's what I'm here for. All right, you take care now. Bye bye.